Good day, everyone. Kumusta? Kumusta? Today is January 5, 2025, and it is our fourth episode of A Daily Conversation with a Friend. So, yeah, it is our fourth episode, and for today, the topic that we'll cover is something close to my heart. And it is something that I try to follow and within myself as a way of life, together with Christian beliefs. This is one philosophy that I follow in my life, and that is Stoicism. So, yan. This will be first of many videos about this topic, and yeah. So yeah, it's very close to my heart. And first, you might be wondering, or baka nagtataka kayo, what is Stoicism? So I'll just give you a very brief overview of what it is. At its core, Stoicism is a philosophy, and it is a way of life. We can talk about the history. Pwede natin pag-usapan yung history ng Stoicism in some other videos. But yeah, I'll just give you a brief overview that it is a philosophy, it is a way of life, and it teaches us how to live virtuously. So ano ba yung virtuous or virtue? Sa Tagalog, it is kabutihan. So ayun, pagiging mabuti. So tinuturuan tayo kung paano mamuhay ng mabuti at stay resilient sa harap ng mga kahit anong mga pagsubok sa buhay. So staying resilient in the face of challenges. And ito, one of the key lessons na natutunan ko is to focus on what's within our control. There are things na we have control over, and may mga bagay na hindi natin kontrolado. So, yun ang isa sa mga key learnings, isa sa mga pangunahing natutunan ko sa Stoic na philosophy. So yeah, that's a brief overview of what is Stoicism. And kung interesado kayong magkaroon ng mas malalim na insight about dito, may i-recommend ako sa inyong video na pwede nyong mapanood sa YouTube. It is a video by Professor Michael Sugru about Stoicism. And yeah, we can also talk about that video in future episodes. And I'll put the link in the description down below para madali nyo makita. Okay. So, yun na yun. Maraming mga Stoic philosophers na nabuhay. Pero may tatlong pangunahin na Stoic philosopher na yung mga sinulat nila na nanatili pa rin hanggang sa ngayon. Ito ay sina Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, at Seneca. At we can talk about each in other episodes, but in this video I would want to tell you that my favorite Stoic philosopher is Marcus Aurelius. So bakit ko ba siya naging paborito? Or bakit siya yung lagi kong binabasa na Stoic philosopher, yung sinulat niya? So si Marcus Aurelius, isa siyang Roman emperor, and he is a deep thinker. Malalim siya mag-isip. Even though he's one of the most powerful men during his time, because he's the emperor, there's no one above him sa Rome during that time in the Roman Empire. Nagpractice siya ng humility, self-control, discipline, self-discipline. Isipin nyo kung gaano kahirap yun. You're the strongest or you're the most powerful man in the earth that time. Kasi Roman Emperor siya. So, yung sinulat niya, he left us his personal reflections in a book na it is called Meditations. And yun, book na yun, it inspired countless number of people, even after thousands of years. And that includes me. So, that's the reason we're talking about it now as well. Ayan. So, as I've mentioned, my favorite Stoic philosopher is Marcus Aurelius, which brings me to my favorite book about Stoicism, and that is Meditations. So, yung Meditations, as I've mentioned, hindi siya traditional na libro na parang novel or kwento siya. Hindi siya ganun. It is a collection of Marcus Aurelius's personal thoughts and reflections. So parang pwede nating sabihin na parang diary niya yun or parang journal kung saan niya sinusulat yung kanyang mga reflections from time to time in his life. So ayun, thankfully that writing of his survived, and kaya natin siya nababasa ngayon. So, yun, ito yung naglalaman ng kanyang personal thoughts, reflections, and hindi niya yun sinulat para mabasa ng iba. Sinulat niya yun for his own or para sa kanyang sariling reflection or pag-remind niya sa sarili niya kung ano yung mga dapat niyang gawin or kung ano yung nasa isip niya during that time. But yung lessons na nilalaman kasi nun, even though di niya alam na magsusurvive yung sinulat niya na yun up to this day na mababasa natin, it is so relatable na yung nafe-feel niya that time is very applicable pa rin hanggang sa panahon natin ngayon. Kaya yun yung naging dahilan na madaming nagbasa at na-inspire din sa libro na yun. Okay, so as I've mentioned, my favorite book is Meditation. So I'll just show some of my copies that I own. These are different translations of Meditations, but my favorite one is the Gregory Hayes translation, which is this one. I think this is the first copy that I've bought as well. So dito yun. Makikita nyo, I've made numerous highlights about the book as well. Yan. So this is it. Meditations, translated by Gregory Hayes. Yeah, and yung isa pang favorite ko na translation is this one. This one is the first book that I bought last 2018, followed by this, I remember. So this one, nabasa ko to college days, but hindi ko pa siya masyado naintindihan nun. Recently ko lang parang na deep dive talaga yung I guess that was 2021 or 2020, but I've had this since 2018. This is by Penguin Books. Yeah. So ayun. And as I've shown, I've made highlights on the books. Like this one, may mga highlights din siya, as you can see, about the different passages. And I've written the highlights that I've made into index cards. So ito yun, meron ako mga index cards sinulat ko so that I can remind myself from time to time. And the total number of index cards that I've written starting from book 1 up until book 12 totals to 52 cards. So may pagination to, and the last page is page 52. And I realized na we have 52 weeks in a year. So naisip ko, why not discuss one card per week? So ayun yung gagawin natin. I'll just discuss one index card per week. So starting with the first one. So I guess this is what we'll do now. So I'll share my screen because I also have it in PDF format, and then we can read it together, and I'll highlight with you guys the highlights that I've had. But if you want to follow around, you can do so as well. Alright, so let me share. Ayan. So this is the book 1. This is about depths and lessons. So yung book 1, nagfo-focus kasi siya sa parang kung kanino siya thankful, sinulat niya yun. I'm thankful for this person, I'm thankful for this person, for this reason. So ayan, yeah, it covers depths and lessons. So yeah, we can start. First, he says of his grandfather Verus, character and self-control. So ayan, first line pa lang, very profound na. So I've made an highlight on that. And then, my father, from my own memories and his reputation, integrity and manliness. Very important characteristics, having integrity and having a manly demeanor. I've also highlighted that one. Yeah, and then we can proceed from my mother, reverence for the divine, generosity, inability to do wrong, or even conceive it, the simple way of living. So I've highlighted these ones. So ayan, and the simple way she lived. And then from my great-grandfather, I'll just read through this. To avoid the public schools, to hire good private teachers, and to accept the resulting costs as money well spent. I haven't highlighted that one. But this one, my first teacher, not to support this side or that in chariot racing, this fighter or that in the games, to put up with discomfort and not make demands, to do my own work, mind my own business, and have no time for slanderers. So I highlighted this one. So what this means is to not choose sides. And then I've highlighted to do my own work, mind my own business, and no time for slanderers. So ano ba yung slanderers? Let's see. Slander. Ay, mga chismis, mga chismosa, or mga tambay. Yun yung slanders based sa Google Translate. I just translated it. And then, Diognetus, the highlights is not to waste time on nonsense. Not to be taken in by conjurers and hoodoo artists with their talk about incantations and exorcism and all that rest of it. Not to be obsessed with quail fighting or other crazes like that. To hear unwelcome truths. So parang it mentions here na kahit mahirap marinig yung katotohanan, it should be heard because sabi nga nila, diba, the truth shall set you free. So ayun, to hear unwelcome truths, to practice philosophy and to study with Bacchaeus and then with Tandasis and Marcianus, to write dialogues as a student, to choose the Greek lifestyle, the camp bed, and the cloak. And lastly, in this index card, the first one, lastly, rusticus, the recognition that I needed to train and discipline my character, not to be sidetracked by my interest in rhetoric, not to write treatises on abstract questions, or deliver moralizing little sermons, or compose imaginary descriptions of the simple life or the man who lives only for others, to steer clear of oratory, poetry, and bell letters, not to dress up just to stroll around the house or things like that, to write straightforward letters like the one he sent my mother from Sinuesa. And this is the highlighted part, to behave in a conciliatory way when people who have angered or annoyed us wants to make up. So if someone may naka-offend sa atin, parang na-observe natin na parang gusto nilang makipagbati. Yung iba, yung yung ugali nila is parang tinatarayan pa nila or di nila papansinin. But Marcus Aurelius writes that to behave in a conciliatory way when people who have angered or annoyed us wants to make up, to read attentively, not to be satisfied with just getting the gist of it, and not to fall for every smooth talker. And for introducing me to Epictetus's lectures, one of the main pillars of Stoicism as well, and loaning me his own copy. So ayun, dun muna tayo matatapos for the first index card. And yeah, I guess hanggang dun muna tayo for this video as well. Because we've reached the 15-minute time na ulit. And I guess that's all for now. Thank you to our viewers who tuned in our YouTube episode. And also thank you for those who listened via Spotify. So yun. Before we end the video, I hope na may natutunan naman kayo sa ating mga napag-usapan today. Don't worry, we'll talk about it more in the next episodes that we'll have, God willing. And if may topics pala kayo na gusto nyong pag-usapan or i-cover natin sa mga episodes in our daily conversations, you can comment it down below as well. And maybe we can talk about it as well. So ayan, thank you so much again for joining me today, and I'll see you on the next one. And like, share, and subscribe. Okay, bye bye. Thank you guys.